All right, y'all. So we're gonna get right into it. All right. So today we're gonna talk about macronutrients, the importance of it. I remember when I was training like crazy, and during my training, of course, I'm hitting my macros, my protein, carbs, and fats, doing all the right things, but I still felt tired. I was getting aches in my joints, like little things like that. So one time I told my man, I was like, "Yo, I don't know what's going on. Like after workouts, I'm just beat, I'm tired." He's like, you take vitamins?" I was like, "Come on, fam, I'm not a Flintstone kid." Kind of told you my age, but I was like, "Nah." He's like, "Nah, you gotta take vitamins." And then he told me a list to get. And then after that, I saw the improvements. So I was like, this is a part of the game, the fitness game, I think that a lot of people don't talk about a lot. So we're going to go into that today. Let's talk about the difference between, and before I get into the difference or the benefits of macronutrients, um, it's something that's not really spoken about often, I think, because we always focus on the macros. But once you add this component or tweak this right here, your body will feel a lot better and you see a better results in your performance as well. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So the difference between macros and micronutrients, macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fats. And that's what your body needs in large amounts. That's what the prefix macro, right? So, and micronutrients are just vitamins and minerals. And sometimes if you have headaches too, a lot of y'all, if y'all have headaches or migraines, you probably need to take some magnesium glycinate. That's probably what it is, because that's what your body needs anyway. A lot of the minerals we're missing is off of the periodic table, actually, right? But the micronutrients, obvious prefix micro, are small amounts that your body needs, right? So you could look at it as macros are like the raw metal, and the micronutrients are the catalyst to let the transformation happens. All right. So that's what it is. All right. So and it's really how you alchemize your body, to be honest with you. So it makes perfect sense, right? So, people always say like, yo, eat your vitamins, but no one actually tells you what you need, right? But we're gonna go over a few of them right now. So definitely vitamin D, right? And a huge population on the planet, I think, but particularly in the US, really have low vitamin D, especially here in the West, because the way how our seasons are, we're not in the sun as much as we should be. And if it is nice outside, sometimes we're indoors a lot. So definitely vitamin D can help you. And some say take it with K3 because it's a catalyst that helps it functions better as well, right? But it helps with hormone production, immune function, and muscle contraction, right? Definitely magnesium is on the list. They have a complex of magnesium. There's different ones, but the most popular one, or they say is best for your body, is magnesium glycinate. That's the one I take. It helps your body with muscle relaxation, sleep quality, and your nervous system regulation, right? So low magnesium can look like cramping, poor sleep, and stress. You can't shake. And that's one of the things too. When I was working out a lot, I always would cramp up. I thought I wasn't drinking enough water too, but it's the electrolytes and minerals that you're missing. But it was because of the magnesium. And once I started taking that regularly, the cramps subsided, right? Iron, especially in women, right? Because low iron shows up in fatigue. No matter how much sleep you get, you have to take your iron. And women with their 28-day cycle, they lose a lot of blood, and blood contains iron. All right. B12 is for energy, of course. But if you're definitely eating mostly plant based, you definitely have to supplement B12 because it deals with energy production and nervous system health, right? And none of them shows up really on the scale. So this is why it's important to take these things as well. For me personally, I don't like to swallow. Pause. But it was a serious note. I have a hard time. I don't know why all of a sudden swallowing pills. So I take mine in liquid form. You could do the same. Make it easier for yourself. You know what I mean? So now a lot of people say, "Oh, you can just get it from Whole Foods." We live in America, family. Like the soil is polluted. We're not getting the nutrients. We're getting fake food. So it's very hard to try to compensate to get what you need from foods, especially in this day and age, right? So what you want to do, of course, eat whole foods, of course, your fruits and vegetables that definitely have it, but you need to supplement them with like over the counter uh vitamins, right? All right. And this is, and I just did a video on the law of correspondence, hermetic principles, right? I mean, hermetic principles. So this one will deal with the law of correspondence, right? So what happens at a small scale affects the large scale, right? Micro, macro, right? Get it? Nutrients, right? So your cells have this type of conversation every day within itself, right? So, but the conversation runs on micronutrients. That's what a lot of people too. You hear they say take sea moss or shilajit because they have a lot of minerals. Like I said, that's based off on the periodic table, but that's what your body needs to function better, right? So those are supplements I also take as well. So go to your local health food store and get those as well, something to look into. And one way you can tell what you're missing is just go to the doctor and get blood work. The secret to your life is in your blood. So I highly recommend at least twice a year, at least once to twice a year. Go get checked out, get your blood work, and you can see where your levels are. All right. So and the thing with macronutrients is hard to track on an app as well, right? So so one way you can do to kind of have a better understanding or to see that you're on point, you could eat a wide variety of produce every week, right? Because you want to have color diversity. So I've always heard growing up, you want to have like a rainbow, like a colorful plate, basically, right? It shouldn't just be dull, right? Two, you want to prioritize minimal whole foods. You want to minimize processed food as possible. What I mean, don't keep it as your base. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I would just wipe out processed foods altogether. But shit, I eat cookies, so I can't talk too much. But most of my meals come from whole foods, right? Three, if there's like a gap where you're fatigued, poor sleep, frequent illness, like I just said, get your blood work done. That would definitely help. And four, supplements. And that's another thing too. Whether it's creatine, whatever supplements you take, it is not the base. That is not your foundation. It only adds to. That's what called supplement. It adds to what you're already doing, right? So if you already are meeting your needs through your food, supposedly, you don't need to take supplements. This is only helps you if you're lacking. Okay. So the three or couple I would recommend, of course, is vitamin D, magnesium. You got to take your omega-3, and for guys, zinc. You know what I'm saying? You can do that, and those will fill in the gaps exponentially in your overall health. All right. Now, once again, this for my coaches. This is conversations that we must have with our clients because it's very important. Because sometimes, like I said, more times than most of those, whatever. Get the drift. Fact of the matter is, you need to educate your clients as well about taking vitamins because we overlook the small things and God is in the details, right? And that's what micronutrients are, right? So if they're losing poor sleep, they sick, the immune system is not as strong as it should be. These are some things you have to look over. Of course, you cover the basis, ask them how they're sleeping, but if they say they're getting their sleep and they're doing everything right and they're not hitting their goal, it's because they're lacking a mineral somewhere. And this is where the macronutrients comes in. All right. So we just keep it basic too. And 9 times out of 10, it's always a tweak that you're off anyway. You know what I'm saying? Once you get that tweak, you're good to go. All right. So there you have it. You know what I mean? Let me know which vitamins you guys are taking, or if you are taking any. You know, someone will love to hear it in the comments. I do, and I read each and every one of you guys' comments too, and I appreciate the engagement. You know what I mean? So the tools change. Whether it's the supplements, the track of the trends, all of it evolves, but the fundamentals though that stays the same. All right. So you just want to feed the whole system. I always say always tell clients, look at yourself holistically. You know what I mean? Details, the macro to the macro. All right. The micro to the macro, pardon me. All right. So this is Alchemy Fitness signing off, where we transfer from that to gold. Train hard, train smart, and train safe. Till next time. Peace.